Good morning, student. Today I am discuss about Internet of Things and Technology in Module 2, continue part. I am the Professor N.K. Vannagowda from Hirasugar Institute of Technology. Today I am discuss about the continuity part in the Module 2. So in this case, we are going to discuss various parameters. Number one is latency and determinisms. Latency means an expectations of IoT applications should be known when selecting an access technology. Access technology means various types of technologies are there. Random access, serial access, parallel access, so many accessing technology we have to adopt in networking systems. If there is a proper synchronization between transmitter as well as the receiver from end to end point communication, then that is a faithful communication, more output you will obtain. So latency, this is a particularly true for wireless networks where packet loss and retransmissions due to interference, collisions and noise are normal behavior in the atmosphere. So these all the abnormalities are present while communication from one point to the another point. So our basic aim is to minimize these obstacles such as interference, collisions and noise are normal behavior. On constrained networks, latency may range from a few milliseconds to seconds, and applications and protocol stacks must be coped with these wide-ranging values. So, the determinism is most important. The predictions, how much error will be occur while transmitting from one point to another point. Distance is also major criteria while transmitting the information, because some propagation losses are there. We have to be overcome all those situations, then we are definitely improve the performance of the networking system. So another point we are going to discuss overhead and payloads. When considering constraint access network technologies, it is important to review the MAC payload size characteristics required review of MAC payload size characteristics required by applications. You should be aware of any requirements for Internet protocol. The minimum IPv6 MTU size is expected to be 1280 bytes. These are the minimum expectations of IPv6 protocol. Therefore, the fragmentation of IPv6 payload has to be taken into account by link layer access protocols with smaller MTUs. So these are the payloads you have to be balanced and improve the performance of IPv6 protocol size. So this constraint you should be remember about these technologies. Then IoT access technology. I already told so many accessing technologies are there. Among that, which one is feasible for IoT related project? You have to be select such a type of technology. The following topics are addressed for each IoT access technology: standardization and alliances, the standards bodies that maintain the protocols for a technology physical layer, the wired or wireless methods and relevant frequencies MAC layer. Consideration at the media access control MAC layer, which bridges the physical layer with the data link control topology. So the topology supports by the technology security aspects of technology, competitive technologies. Security for all the networking system, security is most important criteria. Without secured network, nobody is interested, no customer is enter into that such type of network. So secured network is most important. Then that's why they are designed and developed the standard firewall for protections. You think day to day you are observing in ATM so many illegal activities are takes place because of that technologies, they are not secured properly. Then that requires the secured firewall protections for each and every network systems. then that is, if the network is secured, then people are enter into that network, they are doing their business and other activities. So security is another major parameter in networking system. Other technologies that are similar and may be suitable alternatives to given the technology. Media topologies, several types of topologies are there. Network topology, star is there, mesh is there, bus is there, then point-to-point communication topology is there. So many topology we have to be adapted. Which one is best among these four topologies, you have to be selected. Then in IEEE 802.15.4, that is the communication standard for wireless access technology for low cost and low data rate devices that are powered or run on batteries. This access technology enables easy installation while remaining both simple and flexible. IEEE 802.15.4 is commonly found in the following types of deployment: home and building automation. You can adopt this protocol for home and building automation. Similarly, automotive networks, industrial wireless sensor networks, and interactive toys and remote controls. For low power and low cost applications, you should be adopted IEEE 802.15.4. This is useful for minimum cost and maximum output is available. So IEEE 15.4 protocol stack is observed like this. This is the logical link control. It controls all the logical information, convergence of sublayer, then IEEE 802.15.4, then media access, medium access control, and physical layer. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4 layers which is known as 802.15.4 protocol stack. Another important parameter for Zigbee solutions are aimed at smart objects. Zigbee is a technologies and sensors that have low bandwidth and low power needs. Furthermore, products that are Zigbee compliant and certified by the Zigbee alliances should interoperate. Even though different vendors may manufacture them, the Zigbee specification has undergone several revisions. Every year, every 2 years, it is undergoing revisions. Adopted the new technological additional subtractions of the fields should be continuously in IEEE standards each and every time, every year, that is reviewed as per the present scenario. In the 2006 revision, sets the commands and message types were introduced and increased in the number 207 called Zigbee Pro iterations to achieve different functions for a device such as metering, temperature, or lighting control. So the traditional Zigbee stack is as shown in the figure. So the first one is the application profiles, then application support, network and security layers, MAC layer, physical layer. So Zigbee are vendor specific applications, Zigbee platform for stack, then IEEE 802.15.4. This is known as a traditional Zigbee stack. Previously it was there. The main areas where Zigbee, the most well known, include automation for commercial, retail, and home applications, and smart energy. In the industrial and commercial automation space, Zigbee-based devices can handle various functions from measuring temperature and humidity to tracking assets. For home automation, Zigbee can control lighting, the thermostats, and security functions. Zigbee Smart Energy brings together a variety of interoperable products such as smart meters that can monitor and control the uses and deliver of utilities such as electricity and water. These are the major advantages by utilizing the Zigbee technology. And Zigbee for IP. What are the uses in Internet protocol? With the introduction of Zigbee IP, the support of IEEE 802.15.4 continuous, but the IP and TCP bar UDP protocols and various other open standards are now supported at the network and transport layers. The ZigBee specific layers are now found only at the top of the protocol stack for the applications. So these are the utility, how it is utilized. ZigBee for UDP user datagram protocol, then ZigBee for IEEE 802.15.4. These technologies are adopted. The ZigBee IP stack as shown in the figure. ZigBee IP Smart Energy Profile UDP and TCP. Here you are using IPv6 protocol, ICMP v6 protocol, 6L0 WPAN, ND, RPL we are using, 6LoWPAN adaptation layer, 802.15.4 MAC layer, 802.15.4 206 physical layer. So these are the ZigBee IP stack are perform the following functions. ZigBee for IP supports 6LO WPAN as the adaptation layer. The 6LO WPAN mesh addressing header is not required as ZigBee IP utilizes the mesh over or route over method for forwarding packets. ZigBee IP requires the support of 6LO WPAN's fragmentation and header compression schemes. It also governs several techniques such as fragmentation and header compression schemes. At the network layer, all ZigBee IP nodes supports IPv6, ICMP-v6 and 6LO WPAN, neighbor discovery and utilize RPL for the routing of packets across the mesh network. Both TCP and UDP are also supported to provide both connection-oriented and connectionless services. So these are the functions and mechanism of ZigBee IP. Then physical layer of ZigBee 802.15.4 standard supports an extensive number of physical options that range from 2.4 GHz to sub-gigahertz frequencies in ISM bands. The original IEEE 802.15.4 2003 standard specified only 3 physical options based on direct sequence spread spectrum modulations. DSS is a modulation technique in which a signal is intentionally spread in the frequency domain, resulting in greater bandwidth. That's why this DSS modulation technique is useful. Then we are proceeding to the modulation. You are already familiar. Modulation, without modulation there is no transmission. Anything we are converted into the modulation, converted into modulated wave. Afterwards we have to be transmit from one point to the another point. There are several types of modulation techniques. It is a process. Some parameters, the carrier wave such as amplitude, frequency or phase is varied in accordance with the modulating signal. This modulated signal is then transmitted by the transmitter. In the modulation process, 2 signals are used, namely the modulating signal and the carrier signal. The modulating signal is nothing but the baseband signal or information signal, while the carrier is a high frequency sinusoidal signal. So then we can transfer different types of modulation techniques. Traditional modulation technique already over, amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation, those are over. But we are using in standard Android standard techniques for OQPSK, orthogonal QPSK. QPSK means quadrature phase shift keying. It comes under the physical layer. We are using this type of techniques. This is DSS physical employing offset quadrature phase shift keying modulations. OQPSK is a modulation technique that uses 4 unique bit values that are signaled by page changes. An offset function that is present during page shifts allows data to be transmitted more reliably. Then we are proceeding to the modulation. Several types of modulation techniques are there. BPSK, binary phase shift keying. This DSS PHY employing binary phase shift keying modulation. Then BPSK specifies two unique phase shifts as its data encoding schemes. And another modulation technique which is known as ASK. ASK means amplitude shift keying. This is a parallel sequence spread spectrum PSSS employing amplitude shift keying and BPSK binary phase shift keying modulations. So PSSS is an advanced encoding scheme that offers increased range throughput, data rates and signal integrity compared to DSSS. ASK uses amplitude shifts instead of phase shifts to signal different bit values. So this is another techniques for modulation